to me, you have mystics. Mystics are connected with some deeper sense of reality. They're able to participate in life in a way that they're connected with God, and not God in the sense of a constrained propositional idea that's foisted upon you, but an experiential expansion in which you're participating in something larger than yourself, in dialogue with something larger than yourself. And this is what's meant by prayer in many cases. I think it's helpful to consider prayer as a dialogue that we are undergoing. And in many ways, meditation provides a foundation for that, because it allows us to quiet the mind and also to observe the inner dialogue. And to me, there's a kind of blurred line between prayer and meditation for me, because when I sit in a church and I go into the posture of I'm here to pray, that prayer often begins as a listening. That's what meditation is, in some foundational sense, it's about. It's about being able to sit and listen, quiet things down. And it's from that place that I'm able to listen, quieting the mind, connecting with the heart. Listening with the heart is the channel through which I listen in prayer. And so it's about connecting my heart and through my heart with the whole, with something, with that which is larger than me, which is not just emptiness, which is not just an abstraction, but something that it's possible to come into relationship with and have a dialogue with. And I think as human beings, when we can do this, when we can engage the dialogue with the heart, with the whole, through the spiritual dimension, we can become more properly fitted to life. Less struggle, more of a willingness to surrender in some way, to surrender the things that we can't control or understand, and in so doing, finding a kind of peace and trust. And that's really what it's all about for me, in some way, is to be redeemed from the place of abject suffering and feeling that everything has gone wrong and that you're stuck in something, that you're literally being crucified by life, that there is a possibility somewhere at the bottom of that. There's a way through the suffering. There's a way through the dark night. At the bottom of the dark night of the soul is a place of possibility of the heart opening into a surrender to the whole. And that surrender is something which brings an experience of love and can be ecstatic. This is what people talk about with bliss. I think it's the waves, the rippling waves of release and emotional recalibration that can occur when you get your heart in tune with that which is larger than yourself, that's beyond yourself. And that, I think, obviously is very hard to stay in such a state as you contend with the vicissitudes of life and the noise and profanity and pollution of the world and its beauty and its richness in life. But I think that cultivation that occurs in the context of what I'm calling prayer creates like a little flame within you that kind of can continue to burn even when shit's really hard. That somehow the cultivation of that flame can kind of stay, even if it's like fucking stormy and windy and raining. Like there's a little bit of that flame can like stay with you alive, and then that becomes a kind of guiding light. And there's so much metaphor around light in the Christian lineage. Sense of being the light of the world, the sense that we become lights for each other feels really meaningful for me as well. And there's so much yearning for community, for connection in this time and in all times for human beings. And there is a real sense in which we are all on a journey together of, we don't fucking know quite how it started or how it's ending or where it's going. We can't know that. All we can do is be there for one another on the course of that journey and be connected with one another and be the lights for one another. And when we do that well, it creates a kind of a net that catches us between the void that is also part of this reality, the abyss of meaninglessness, the abyss of death of the self and suffering and all of these things that are here. Like we become the fabric that binds it and holds it together and allows us to journey through life in a beautiful way. And it's not one or the other. It seems to me that both are essential. It is through the others that we find ourselves, but it is also through that inner outer, that personal inner outer connection with the whole, with God. That's what we bring to everybody around us. That's what we bring to community. So it's very important that we're cultivating that within and also being held and cultivating our ability to relate to that without and through the art of dialogue, through community, through cohering, whether it's in song or music or conversation or being a part of a artistic community, a philosophical community, whatever it is for you, that you feel there are people there that you can journey with. And that's one of the great joys of life as well.